Hi guys, so today we're going to be doing a remake of Tibasko's track, You Want It. The Tibasko duo makes up of Ken and Andy. They regularly release on Another Rythm Records, and between them have a great catalogue of bangers. My favourite songs of theirs include Hot, You Want It and Icaro. This is my remake of You Want It. Great, so a lot of the drum samples from this remake are from my UK Garage pack. You can get that from the link below. I've also got a Serum preset pack with really nice UK Garage basses. You can also download this project from my Patreon. The link for that is also in the description. Let's go on with it. Let's start from the top and work our way down. Firstly, we've got this kick. It's from my Garage pack. It sounds like this. Really nice and thumpy with quite a lot in the low to mid end. It's quite what I'd say a boxy kick, and I've got no processing on it. It's just as is. We've then got this snare. So the snare in the track doesn't have a lot of tail to it. It's quite dry and short. This is what it sounds like. So we've got the brev snare from my pack. We are then making it wider. So I'd say this is the best widen the plugin. There's a few available. This one's free, so definitely get the internet and download this. It's by Infected Mushroom or Polyverse, I'm not too sure. But yes, really recommend this one. It's just making the stereo wider, so it fills up the size of the headphones or like the width of speakers, say. We've then got this reverb with quite a high dry wet, about 50%, and a low decay time. The reverb is there just to give it a bit of space and make it sound a little bit airy. Without it, it sounds really dry, the system. So without it, it doesn't have enough tail on it. So yeah, this reverb sort of adds that into it. We've then got this hat. The hat's made of 3 layers. So the first, the second, and the third. The first 2 are from my pack and have no effects on. The last hat, we have this A hi-hat 1 half open A. And it's just from the Ableton library. So if you go on drums and search it, you'll be able to find it. Yeah, it's got a really long tail on it and it sounds quite organic. I feel like it matched what they used the most. Any sort of open hat with quite a long decay on it would sound the same. We then have the star of the show being the bass. Sounds like this. It's really reverbed. So we've got the Korg M1, we've just got the Organ 2 preset. I've then got a really large amount of stereo chorus on there. And also, I believe on the insert effects, on the master effects, there's this ensemble hall. So we could probably lower that a little bit. But without it, it sounds really dry. So let's hear it without. So too dry. So yeah, with the combination of the pads, it really makes it sound a lot more dreamy and floaty. So that's the sort of vibe that I think they were going for. A really like nice, sort of nostalgic, high-pitched vocal with a sort of nice and airy drop. So yeah, I think that really works with the large amount of reverb on there. I've then taken out some of the top end. I generally see people processing their organ basses by taking out a fair amount of the top end. So here we're cutting off anything above 2.9. I believe on the Bota track it's even lower. It's about here. It's the baddest of them all track. But because as you can hear, there's that sort of high end. I say it sounds kind of fake, which I really like that part. But I've been noticing a lot of people are sort of cutting off about 4K. So yeah, that's up to you. It's sort of a stylistic choice. Then sidechained it to the kick, standard sidechain. I put this band on, so it's only sidechaining anything below 5.12 kilohertz. So that basically means that the high end isn't being sidechained, but the low end is. For those of you who don't know, sidechain is basically meaning that whenever the kick plays, the volume of the bass goes down. So yeah, dips, so you can hear the kick better through the mix. That's what sidechain does. We've then got this OTT, so this is free and it's by the same people that make Serum. And yeah, got the depth up quite high, just adds a bit of brightness without it. So it sounds quite muddy. Then you put it on. Yeah, this helps boost those higher elements and also tighten up the low end. So yeah, there's basically a multi-brand compression plugin, which is really good. And yeah, that's free, so I'd recommend getting it. We've then got the first synth. So it's a pad, and there's 2 layers to the pad. It sounds like this. So yeah, really simple. All we've got is wavetable on basic shapes, and then we put it at this. So you just drag this up to there. And we've got this filter taken out so on the top end, and I've left all this the same. Then got this reverb at about 55%, just to give it some sort of air. You can change the quality to mid or high, or leave on economical. It's up to you. Put it on high. That delay's not doing anything. Same sort of side chain, but I've taken the band off, and it's at 71%. And EQ taking out the low end, and an OTT again. Do this exact same as the other one, and sort of making the higher frequencies more prominent and sort of cleaning up the low end. Same sort of story, the second synth, so the synth 2, we've got Serum. Right, so if you have a look at the second pad, it sounds like this. So quite dreamy, I'd say. All we've got here is 2 saw waves that are detuned, and the unison's pitched up to 7. We've also got this bright noise. If you look at the envelope, for envelope 2, this is controlling the filter, so it makes the filter move a bit. Not too much, but a little bit there. And lastly, we've got this LFO1 controlling the filter cutoff on here. So pretty much doing the exact same as this filter, but it just adds even more movement. So yeah, this is actually going to be my UK Garage Volume 2 pack, which will be out pretty soon, I imagine. In terms of processing, it's the exact same as the other one. EQ coming out the low end, sidechain, and OTT. We lastly have this arpeggiator, which sounds like this. So yeah, really simple. All we've got is a saw wave, so you could just use any saw wave. So if you go to basic shapes, we've got this envelope with quite a short decay. We've got this macro, which is actually attached to the level, the decay, the sustain, the width, and all of those sort of things. And as you turn it up, so I kept it quite minimal in this, so it does move, or I thought it did. So you could actually add little bits like this. So just at the end of the drop, it comes up and changes a bit and evolves. So it's quite subtle. You don't want it too much. But yeah, so in terms of the MIDI, so the bass MIDI looks like this. So we're in the key of D sharp. So we play quite a long time, 2 bars on D sharp, then we go up to F and then down like this. If you want to have a copy of this, you can. Pretty basic MIDI, but it sounds really good and effective. The pads follow the exact same MIDI as the bass line, but then this is a 5th up, this is a 5th up, this is a 5th up, this is a 5th up. So this is what it looks like, a 5th, and then I've pitched up by an octave, just so you're getting the lower frequencies and the high frequencies. And then just lastly, the ARP is in D sharp again as the center key, and then we're just moving up and down the notes as such. As you can see, I was playing around with this for quite a while to get it sounding right. This was just, trial and error, I'd say. And then lastly, we have the vocal. So it sounds... So I'm not actually sure where this vocal's from. Let's pitch it down. We might hear... So the vocal originally probably sounded like this. So it might be a spliced vocal, I'm not 100% sure. But what they've done is then pitched it up. And yeah, it sounds really good. We've then got the side chain. We've got this, there's quite a lot of delay on the vocal. So I've just got this delay at 3, and then the feedback quite high and the delay quite high without it. This helps add to like the spaciness and the dreaminess of the track. Great, guys. And just lastly, I nearly forgot to mention, on all of the MIDI there is this swing. So the track hasn't got a whole lot of swing and groove, but it has got some. So I went for this MPC 16 Swing 57, and you can just click on the groove, click that one, and then go on to every MIDI and manually put it on all of them. So 57, and go through and put it on all of them. You want it on everything but the kick. Great, guys. Thank you for watching. Please comment down below what tracks you want to see next. I will see you next time.